Okay, so we have a problem. Hey guys, we're back with another one, and today we are going to attempt to solve a problem that I'm having. It is no big deal, we will survive. But the problem that I'm having is that it is now July 16th, and I have completed a total of one book. For context, that's worse than Slump Lindsay. Slump Lindsay still reads like 4 books a month. So, this is not because I'm in a slump. I'm actually not. Actually, like, the only thing that consistently runs through my brain is how I would rather be reading, right? So I'm not in a slump, because when I'm in a slump, I don't want to pick up a book. Nothing sounds good. Reading is just not my journey. That's not where I'm at right now. Where I'm at is like, I would love to be reading all day. Where I'm at right now is that there's just not enough hours in the day. So I have decided that the only way this problem is going to get fixed is if I prioritize making some time for myself. Reading is how I decompress. Reading is how I do some thinking. Reading is how I relax. I normally want nothing to do with TV, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I don't watch much TV. It's not for me. But lately I've found myself like sitting down or like on the couch or lying down in bed and flipping on the TV instead of picking up a book, just because I feel like I'm so mentally exhausted by the end of the day. And I think that's what we're going to change. So I've been sitting here being like, this screams, let's either do or retry. Like, let's do a new challenge or retry a challenge that you failed in the past. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, in the past, I've done the 200 pages a day challenge. I failed totally. Like, I feel like the goal at this point isn't even succeeding, because that's just going to set me up for disappointment. But I have not done the reading for 24 hours challenge. And full disclosure, I would not be able to sit here and read for 24 hours straight. I am a mom. I have 2 boys who, it is now summertime, and I always have their friends here. There's currently one in the pool right now with them. So I always have friends. I have sports. My husband works an insane amount of hours. Like, I need to be like on my game when it comes to being a mom and taking care of the house and stuff. So the whole staying up for 24 hours thing is not for me. Not at this point anyways. But what I do think I could do is either break it up. I was going to say in like 12-hour increments, but even that with my kids and stuff and my schedule is probably unrealistic. I could probably break it up in like 6-hour increments. But what I think would be better, because for me, every day is different. Like, no 2 days are the same. And stuff is always happening like at the last minute that I can't plan for. So what I think would be better would be if I just started my timer and saw not only how long it takes me to read for 24 hours, but also how many books I could get done in a 24-hour period. And I just feel like I know my brain. I just feel like if I'm doing a challenge, it'll reset me into getting away from the TV and back into my books. I just know it because I like to win. I am competitive. I do not like to fail. So I know that if I set this up in the parameters of like a challenge, this is going to be easier for me. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to try to read for a total of 24 hours and see how many books I can get through. So let's look at where I am right now. I am currently reading Ricochet by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. In the previous video, I had this moment where like my brain stopped functioning, and I was talking about how I was doing my June wrap up and I had read Addicted for You in June. And then I literally looked down and I was like, I believe the next book is Addicted for Now. No, girl, you're reading the next book. Like, I was currently reading this book while filming that video. So that's what I'm talking about. Just the old brain is not what it used to be. So I'm currently reading the second book in the Addicted Calloway series, and that's Ricochet. I am on page 67, so I read 67 pages yesterday because I started it yesterday, or 2 days ago. So 2 days. Wow, that stinks. Anyways, for me, not for you. You can read whatever you'd like, but I usually far surpass 30 pages a day. So I'm reading Ricochet. I'm going to continue on with this. We're going to start the timer. Now the question is, where do I read? Because right now, it's actually kind of rainy and gloomy out here in Connecticut, so I don't know that I'm feeling like reading outside, because it's not currently raining, but everything is wet. We had the craziest lightning and thunderstorms last night. Like, I've never seen constant lightning, like lightning. It didn't stop. And then I think my husband even said it hailed at some point. I'm not sure, but we had crazy storms last night, so everything is soaking wet. So I don't think reading outside is my journey right now. It's supposed to get nicer over the next couple of days. So I think I might just like sit down in my chair, take a load off. Also, all 3 of the kids are outside being crazy, so I don't know that I'd be focusing. So I think right now I'm gonna sit down in my chair and see how long I can read and how far I can get in Ricochet. So come on with me. Come on. You know you want to. See you there. Bye.
When I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I take you to a moment where the fields are painted gold and the trees are filled with memories of the feelings never told? When the evening pulls the sun down and the day is on.
Okay, just got back from my little Barnes run, and I'm sitting here in my guest room. This is like where my overflow books go. So sitting here, and I figured I would do a quick little haul to show you what I got. Okay, so recently I've been hearing a lot of hype about, I actually don't even see it on here, but, oh yes I do. It is right there. I've been hearing a lot of hype about Jennifer Lynn Barnes' Natural series. If you don't know, Jennifer Lynn Barnes is the woman who wrote the Inheritance Games, which are actually falling over there. But she wrote the Inheritance Games, and she has this series called The Naturals, which I heard is like Criminal Minds-ish. So I have the first 2, which like you saw are Killer Instinct, or The Naturals and Killer Instinct. And then I went today and I picked up the 3rd and 4th book, which finishes the series up to now. So I got All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I got Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So these are the 3rd and 4th books in the series. So I'll add that to my little shelf. And then I got The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. Rebecca Yarros wrote The Things We Left Unfinished, and then most famously and most, I guess, virally now, she also wrote Fourth Wing, which that's one of my copies right there. My other copy is in with my special edition, but I do own Things We Left Unfinished and Fourth Wing, a couple copies of it. This I've seen blowing up right now too. I've heard it's very sad. I don't believe it is a fantasy. I actually know nothing about this book, but I'm super intrigued by her writing. So I figured I would pick up The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. Okay. Then the next book I grabbed. Okay. So this was kind of an impulse purchase, and I'll explain why. I grabbed Ray Naylor's The Mountain and the Sea. I normally would say that I don't I would consider this more like science fiction, and I don't usually get into science fiction. However, I've been super intrigued by the genre recently. I picked up Hail Mary. I picked up the Red Rising series. I have the 4th Red Rising pre-ordered, so that should be coming in. And I don't know why, but this like sprayed edges, aquatic, octopus sci-fi really caught my attention, and I believe it was the book of the month last month. I don't think it's this month anymore, but mostly I picked this up because this was on the buy one 50% off, buy one get one 50% off table, and I had already had a book in my cart that was the buy one, so I needed the 50% off, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I will like this because it is kind of cool. Maybe I could get into some like octopus sci-fi. What do you guys think? I think this is about like a scientist who finds an island and he goes to like study the octopus population there. And then I'm assuming the octopus attacks them. Big scary octopus. I don't know. The ocean scares me, guys. So yeah, maybe this is a little too scary for me, but The Mountain and the Sea by Ray Naylor. Okay. Then this is the book that I had actually picked up off of the buy one 50% off table. This is the Jasad Air. This actually doesn't release until the 18th, but it was out a few days early, which things often are, by the way. If you know a book is coming out in the next couple of days, it's sometimes not a bad idea to check your Barnes & Noble, because sometimes they do have stuff out on the tables early. So this was a classic case of that. This is the Jasad Air by Sarah Hashem, and this was my initial pickup off the table, which then led me to grab The Mountain and the Sea because I needed one for 50% off. So I grabbed the Jasad Air. I know nothing about this, but I believe there's a rumor that this is going to be one of the book box's picks this month or next month. I don't remember whether it was like Fairy Loot, Limo Crate, Bookish Box. I can't keep it straight. But supposedly the rumor and the speculation is that one of them is going to be doing this book. So I'll probably have some sort of collector's copy if that's the case, but I don't always love to read my collector's copies, so I figured it wasn't a bad thing to pick it up because I'm super intrigued by it. So okay, I'll put these away in a minute. And then the next one I got was The Senator's Wife by Liv Constantine. I actually saw Miss Olivia Reads a Latte reading this book, and she said it was really, really good. Some like political intrigue, thriller, mystery, which is not something that I've read a ton of. I read the inside jacket, and it does sound like she gets married to a senator, and there's some controversy and stuff like that. So, yeah, Liv Constantine's The Senator's Wife. Then I also picked up The Housekeepers by Alex Hay. I am super intrigued by this because I actually haven't seen too much like hype around this, but it is a new release. I believe this is another example of one that's coming out later this week. It was just out a little bit early. And I've seen literally no one talking about this, but when I read the inside cover, I was like, why does this sound so good? So I think it is a mystery thriller. I think it's your typical, like, they're housekeepers. It says, let's see, focus. A dazzling party, a daring heist, never underestimate the women downstairs. So I think the main character is the housekeeper. Like maybe discovers some controversy. It's basically rich people drama. Let's just face it, it's rich people drama. So I am in for rich people drama. Okay. Last but not least, I picked up Claire Legrand's. Is it Claire Legrand or Claire Legrand? I'm going to choose to pronounce this Claire Legrand. So I picked up A Crown of Ivy and Glass. This is her new romantasy, which if you don't know, that is a romance mixed with fantasy selection, and I'm really excited about it. So it says, and this is the other thing that excites me, I don't know if you can read this, the Middle Mist Trilogy, book 1. So it's going to be part of a trilogy. It says, he looked up and our gazes locked, and a warm liquid feeling spilled through my body, an anchored feeling as if I stood with my feet firm on the summer warmed ground, all the great heat of the world pressing up against my toes. If you help me restore my family's name and honor, he said, very low, his face near, his breath hot and wine sweet on my mouth, I will help you hunt your family's demon, and I will not rest until he is destroyed, and you and yours are free. I could not save my own family, but maybe if we work together, I can save yours. Yep. Sign me up. I'm in. So that was my chaotic little book haul. I pretty much got everything I was looking for, which is awesome. So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to put them away, I'm going to organize them in a combination of these shelves, not this one, This is my books I read this year shelf, but the other 3, and then also behind me in my office where my main bookshelves are. So we'll bring you along for that.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh.
Whew. Okay. So, update, because I have been bad at updating today. It is now 10:08 on Saturday night. All right, let's start with the good news first. Let's be positive. I finished Ricochet. I read for about 3.5 hours yesterday, which isn't too horrible. And I did finish like 200 and something pages in this book yesterday. I did finish it. I am not going to give you my complete thoughts until the end of this video, but that is one book down for our challenge. And that's good. I feel good about that. And I did update my Goodreads. So at any point, if you want to go over and take a look at my Goodreads, it's always linked down below in my description. Friend me. I'm pretty active on there. So I did go ahead and update my Goodreads. So if you just can't wait until the end of the video and you want to browse while you're watching or something like that, go ahead and hop over to Goodreads. You can read my review right now. But for this video, I'm going to keep all of my spoiler-free opinions till the end of the video. So that is officially one book down for this reading vlog, and I did finish it. I was only on page, I think, like 37 or something when I started yesterday, so I did finish it in 3.5 hours. That's not too horrible. So now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, where do I go now? Because I still have 20 hours, 37 minutes, and 45 seconds left to this challenge. So where do I start now? And I was actually picking up my Kindle, and I was flipping through like all of my options, and for some reason, I don't know, I keep going back to one option. But the question is, do I really want to get into this right now? But it's really intriguing me. Do I do it? Okay, I think I'm doing it. I am going to start the Mind F series. I know I have the first book. Hold on. What is this? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the Mind F series. I believe this is about the main character is a female serial killer. And then I think she ends up like getting involved with the FBI detective that's investigating the cases, but he doesn't know she's the killer. Like, he's investigating these cases and she's the one who did it, but he doesn't know that. I would assume she knows that he's investigating her. I mean, I don't know. I'm making a lot of assumptions here. However, I think I'm going to go into the first book, which is called The Risk in the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. This one's a really short one. I think it's like under 200 pages. So I think I am going to go take a shower, possibly make a coffee, start settling down for the night, and see if I can get some reading done. So I'll keep you updated. Bye. Okay, so I lied. Separate note. I just kind of like did the first couple. I flipped through like the table of contents and stuff to get to the first paper, or to get to the first page, and it says Chapter 1, and it gives the following quote by none other than Mr. Albert Einstein. I love humanity, but I hate humans. I'm conflicted. Because like one side of me is like, girl, same. Or boy, same. Talking to Albert. Are we on a first name basis? I don't know. But like, yeah, boys, same. But then the other side of me is like, but humans are great though. Like, I have a lot of good humans in my life. I actually think I love humans but hate humanity. Does that make sense? Is this like, can we flip it around? Yeah. I love humans but I hate humanity. I think that's probably what it is. More thoughts to come. All right, now I'm going to get in the shower. Bye, guys. Day 3, and I was kind of hoping we would be able to read outside today, but it is looking like that is not happening, and that's okay because to me this is like the perfect reading weather. So doesn't stop these crazies though, who are 100% swimming in the rain. So yeah.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness.
Okay, so we're back with another update and back with some stats that I realized I didn't go over before. So basically, I just finished the second book for this challenge, and it was The Risk, which is the first book in the Mind F series. Just like I said before, I'm not going to give my opinions on it until the end, but I did just finish that, and we are currently at 17 hours and 19 minutes left. So I've been taking little like notes and stats that I didn't go over before. So if we talk about the first book, which was Ricochet, I read that in 3 hours and 23 minutes, and that was 200 pages. So then I went right into The Risk, and I read pages 1 to 130 and finished the book in 3 hours and 18 minutes. However, I did fall asleep last night. Full disclosure, I did. I was actually sitting in my chair in my reading space in my office, and my oldest son was in the guest room watching TV, and at some point I fell asleep with my Kindle. I don't even really remember falling asleep, and I woke up and he just looked at me. He's like, oh, you fell asleep. So full disclosure, I have no idea how long I slept for, but my timer was on. I know it did not take me 3 hours and 18 minutes to read 130 pages. So I'm gonna guess that I slept probably like 40 minutes. If I had to guess based on my reading speed, maybe a little bit longer, but we're gonna count it. The timer was running, it is what it is. So I technically took 3 hours and 18 minutes to read The Risk. So whatever, we're gonna move on to our third book, and this is where it gets kind of tricky because I'm not sure what I wanna start. But I did read Ricochet, which was a romance, and then The Risk, which was like dark romance, like thriller maybe, because it had like that serial killer element. It's like a dark romance thriller. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to switch gears and maybe pick up like a fantasy romantasy. I don't know. I'm going to take a walk over to my bookshelf and I will update you when I make a decision. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking at this part of my bookshelf. And if we're talking... really? And if we're talking about...
Subscribe to Mr. MC and Iceberg.
Don't subscribe.
Subscribe.
Don't subscribe.
Subscribe.
Don't.
Subscribe.
He doesn't want you to.
Subscribe. Do it now.
So if we're thinking about like
Subscribe.
a romantasy, fantasy vibe, I have a couple of options. I've kind of wanted to start The Kiss of Deception by Mary Pearson. I didn't even realize that this was a series. I, of course, have her Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves, but I believe this was the precursor to that, so I've kind of wanted to start that. I don't know. I've also really, really, really been intrigued by Project Hail Mary, so maybe Project Hail Mary? But then... this caught my eye. Do I do it? Do I join the bandwagon? Do I answer the hype? Do I go for it? This is my regular version. I was able to score the first edition with the sprayed edges, but I'm obsessive and I didn't want to read it, so do I go for it? I think I do. I think I go for it. All right, decision made. Let's start Fourth Wing. Guys, it is finally sunny out. It's been so overcast and rainy. I have never seen a more overcast, rainy summer. We've hardly even gotten a summer yet. So the sun came out and I literally was like, I can't let this go to waste. So I put my suit on, I'm gonna sit by my pool and I'm gonna get a little reading done. I'm so excited. I didn't get too much done last night. I got 2 chapters done. When you start fantasies, it is kind of like daunting because they set up a whole new world. You got to meet all the characters, so there's a lot to focus on, and I was just I was tuning out. It was too late. So bad news is I broke my sunglasses. Good news is new ones get delivered today, but not until 10 p.m. So we're just gonna like handle the sun for right now. We're just gonna get some reading done, take advantage of the sunlight. It is so hot, it is so humid, and I love it so much. So I will talk to you guys later when I update you. Bye. Okay, so update, we just got back from lunch. We went, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Connecticut or things like that, but we went to the iconic Pepe's Pizza in New Haven. We went to the original one. So I just got back from lunch, and when I came back, it's so heavy. These were waiting for me. I don't know if you can see this. There's so many. And a couple of these are all special edition books because I don't know if you guys know this, but I do collect like special edition Fairy Illumicrate like special edition books. These are all going to be special edition, but I did get a couple of regular books. So really quickly, I figured we would just open them and go through it. I started opening it and then I was like, why wouldn't I just do this like on our little weekly video? So let me grab the regular books I got. Okay, so as far as regular edition books, I got The Do-Over. This is the 3rd book in the Miles High Club series by T.L. Swan. The first one is The Stopover. The second one is The Takeover. There's this one, and then I believe the 4th one is The Casanova, I think. Typical Lindsay fashion. Haven't even started the series, but I won't start it until I own them all. It makes no sense. Don't try to figure it out. Just go with it. So this is the 3rd book, and no, I have not read the 1st and 2nd. Then I got The Stars Are Dying by Chloe Peñaranda, I think is how you pronounce her name, Peñaranda. I just basically saw this as like a recommendation on Amazon, and it sounded like I would really, really like it. And as I'm flipping through it, look at how pretty the chapter pages are. Do you see like the designs on the chapter pages? Like how pretty is that? Is there a map in the beginning? Oh, there's no map, but look at how pretty that is. And this is just like the regular edition. I got it on Amazon. They don't sell it at Barnes & Noble or anything. The only place I saw it, oh, they do have a map. See, that's automatic points for me. I love maps. Okay. Okay. So that is The Stars Are Dying. No idea what it's about. I just heard it was good. Oh. Oh, no. No. Oh, I hate that. I hate this. We're just gonna ignore it. Okay. And then I got No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is the same author who wrote The Last Word, which just came out. I believe she has a couple other stories. I have not read The Last Word yet, but I'm super excited. I just haven't been in like a thriller era. I just read like a dark romance thriller, I guess, with the Mind F series, the first one. But I've wanted to get into The Last Word, and then I've heard that this one is also another work by her that's pretty good. So I got this. I don't even know what it's about, but thriller by Taylor Adams. And then this next book was cool because I actually, fun fact about me, I love sharks. I'm obsessed with sharks. I love them and know a lot about them, which means I'm terrified of them. I'm not an ocean swimmer. It's not for me. I know way too much about sharks. It makes me uncomfortable. I feel very small when I'm in the ocean. I love to sit on the beach. I love to look at the ocean, but I'm just not gonna go swimming. I don't care for it. And I was in Barnes & Noble in Danbury, Connecticut recently. It's their brand new one. And I bought the book that just came out about the 1916 New Jersey shark attacks in the river, and I'm gonna get to reading it. And when I got up to the counter, the girl who was working there was like, oh my God, I wanna read this book. I can't wait to read this. She's like, have you ever read The Swell? Because it's like the concept is reminding me a lot about it. And that's all it took. So I came home and I immediately ordered The Swell by Allie Reynolds. The waves are to die for. So I'm assuming this is going to be like a shark book? I don't know. It says, a delicious blend of travel and danger, a surfer's paradise of a book with a razor sharp menace just under the surface. Interesting. So I bought The Swell. I know nothing about it other than the girl at Barnes & Noble recommended it, and she referenced the shark book I had gotten. So no idea. So I'm gonna have to read that. So those were the regular edition books that I actually got in, these ones right here. And now let's get into opening some boxes of special editions. Okay, so like I said, I started opening this, like I opened one and kind of looked into it and then said, oh, I could do this on camera. So I already opened this one, but I'm going to show you what's in it. So beautiful. Okay. All right. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Okay, this is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. This is the Fairy Loot edition. And honestly, one of the reasons why I got the second book as well. It might be in one of these boxes. But the reason why I was so intrigued by this is because it's blurbed by Stephanie Garber, who wrote Caraval and once, what is it? Curse of the Broken Heart? Something like that? Ballad of Never After and Curse of the Broken Heart. I have it somewhere up there, but, and I've wanted to get into her books. She blurbed this and said it was dazzling. So, sounded intriguing, but look at how beautiful this edition is. And then, of course, the beautiful sprayed edges with the cranes. I just love, like, the baby pink and the lavender. Lavender is one of my favorite colors. And then, let's see what's... Oh, no art on the inside. Interesting. That's unusual for Fairy Loot. Usually they have the... Oh, I know why. It's an alternate dust jacket. Okay. Let's check this out. So this is what the naked book looks like. I don't know if you can see that. How beautiful is that? I'm assuming that's like the main character. She looks like she has a... Oh, there's a bunch of cranes. That makes sense. And then no art on the inside, but it is hand signed by Elizabeth Lim. Right there. And then this, it has no cover art, but it does have the alternate dust jacket artwork. So I'm assuming these are going to be the characters on the other side of the dust jacket. It's beautiful. It says, a princess in exile, a shape-shifting dragon, 6 enchanted cranes, and an unspeakable curse. It will take more than magic to find their way home. Beautiful. And I know there's a second book, which I also ordered. I don't know if it's in one of these. We'll find out in about a minute, but what a gorgeous edition. And when I organize, when I display my special editions, I display them with the edges out. So that'll be beautiful on my shelf. That's number one. Okay. Next. I hope all of these are books. I would assume they are. Let's go ahead and open this. Part of the fun of getting packages, I feel like, is figuring out how to open the boxes. Is that just me? But, all right. Oh. I do such a good job packaging these. Just watch me for 15 minutes struggle to get the tape off. Okay. There you go. Which one is this? Oh, she sent me a bunch. Oh, I know what this is. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, I'll show you everything else that came with it. This is the Cosmere character pins, Vasher. Dragon steel pin. How cute. Oh, can you see that? There you go. How cute is that? The little pin. Oh my gosh. And then look at how cute this little sticker is. I don't know if this is something like to do with the book. I don't know. But look at how cute that is, a little sticker. I don't put stickers on my Kindle, but that would be a really, or like my computer, but that would be a really cute one for your Kindle. And then, oh wow, this is really good quality. And then it came with this bookmark, and that's good quality bookmark. Nice. And then the book. I'm so excited about this. And actually, I'm just finding out that this is the second one that I think he did like a first one too, but I love his stuff. Look at how beautiful this edition of the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. This, I believe, I was reading somewhere that Brandon Sanderson did, I guess, like a GoFundMe page for like some side work outside of his works like Mistborn and Trust of the Emerald Sea and stuff like that. I think this was like a Kickstarter or like a GoFundMe like special pet project of his. I believe this is the second one. So apparently there's another Kickstarter GoFundMe type of book that he did, and I must have just missed it. But this is the first one, the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. That is quite the name. On the back, it's still in the plastic, but on the back it says, we here at Frugal Wizard Inc. are committed to providing you with the highest quality experience possible, available to any true wizard for a reasonable price. We provide the fun, you provide the body. And then it has a little asterisk and it says, and the money. Don't forget the money. Also, we mean your own body, though we don't ask too many questions. That's hysterical. All right, should we open it? Because I kind of want to see this. Oh, I hate doing this. Watch me cut the book. I'm not graceful enough for this nonsense. Okay. Update. I didn't. We're good. All right. Trying to be so careful. Oh, it's beautiful. Is it leather? Hold on. I believe. No, I don't think it is. Okay. All right. So here's the actual book. Oh, wow. Assuming those are the characters. Oh, look at how beautiful this book is. Oh, wow. Look at the pages. There is something about, oh, God. God, this book is gorgeous. I cannot wait to read this. There is something about a beautiful book, guys. Just something about a book, just like a physical, oh, wow. Just like a physical book in your hands that is so beautiful. This is gorgeous. Oh, wow. What's that? Oh, here's from the bookmark. God, there's so many pictures in here. This edition is stunning. I am so happy I got this. This is beautiful. So it's Brandon Sanderson's Kickstarter book. I'm going to have to look into what the first one was. All right. Opening this one. Let's see what this is. Okay. The mystery of trying to get into the box. How do we do this? Okay. There you go. Oh, I think it's this way. Okay. This feels like there's a bunch of books in here. What is this? There's like a bunch of individually packaged things in here. Oh, this gives it away. I know what this is. Okay, so the first thing we got, you're going to be able to guess it after I show you this. Look at this cute little wooden plaque. Crescent City University. I actually have just the place I'm going to put this. There's like a little skinny wall right here between my closet and my office. And put this up there. How cute is that? Okay, so then you should be able to guess what these are. Oh, how do you get this out? two in here. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. Oh my God, everything's gonna fall. There's gonna be a landslide of boxes. All right. Oh, yes. Oh, God, they're beautiful. Okay. And then open this one. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh, they're beautiful. Okay. Here they are. The House of Sky and Breath and the House of Earth and Blood. These are the Fairy Loot editions of these. Look at how stunning this is. Let's do the House of Earth and Blood first because it's the first one. So this is the outside, you know, like display box. What does it say? House of Earth and Blood, Fairy Loot exclusive. Her signature is on the box too, right there. Oh my God, it's beautiful. And here is House of Earth and Blood. God, with the spine. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gold embossed foil. Through love, all is possible. And look at these edges. Oh, God, they're stunning. And I'm looking at the top right here, and I can see it has one of those little bookmarks, like the little string bookmarks. Oh. Oh, guys, it does things to me. Special edition books, I'm trying to take this off as gently as possible. Special edition books do things to me. Is there no artwork on the inside? Okay, here's the naked book. Oh my God, what does it say? Through love, all is possible. And then on the inside, oh my God. Like, does this not do something to you? Because it does something to me. Are the books signed? The book isn't signed, just the box. Okay. And then what's in the back? Oh, there's more. Are these like poem books? Look at, oh my God, they're so beautiful. All right, so that's the first one. That's the House of Earth and Blood. The question is, how do I display these now? I think actually what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put them in the box backwards so you can see the edges maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of putting it in like that, maybe put it in like that. I don't know. I'll mess around with that in a second. All right, let's look at the House of Sky and Breath. This is the second one in the Crescent City series. Very similar box with her signature on it again. Oh my God. House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. It says light it up on the back. Look at these edges. Like, really? They're beautiful. All right, let's look at the artwork in this. I might not take the cover off, but here is the, oh, they're hard, they're heavy. Here is the artwork in this one. And then on the back, oh my God, it's so beautiful. What is this? Is he a merman? Why is he a mermaid? Like I said, I haven't read this yet, but this guy's a mermaid. Now I'm like way more intrigued for some reason. Now I'm like, wait, there's mermaids? And this one does have the little string bookie mark too. So I think I am going, ooh, I don't love that. There you go. I think I am gonna do this when I display them and just leave them with like the edges out. I don't know. Those are absolutely beautiful though. I'm so excited about that. Okay. All right, next box, down to the last two. Where does this open? It's this little fun orange box. And that is not my address. That is left over on the box. Let's see. This is the Illumicrate smaller box. Oh, here we go. So this is, when I was telling you about Six Crimson Cranes, how that's the second book. This is the first one I was talking about. So this is the Fairy Loot exclusive. I think it's the, no wait, that Six Crimson Cranes is the first, I believe. And this is the second one. If I could get it out of the packaging. There you go. Oh, it's still in the plastic too. Oh my God, it's beautiful. All right, so This is, it's still in the packaging, but this is The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. And like I said, this is the second book in the Six Crimson Creams little series. So it's very similar. I might have to get it and put it right up next to it, but beautiful. That's gonna look so pretty. It says a dragon's kingdom, a star-crossed love, and a cursed pearl with the power to mend the world or break it. What's this? Oh, here is, oh, it has a plate. Here's the plate with the author's signature. Oh my God, the perfect blend of whimsy and ferociousness. There you go. So that's the second one. All right, down to the last one. Where do you open this? It's this one right here. The mystery of where does the box open continues. Let's try here. Okay. Go along the sides. It is amazing. I haven't sliced a finger off, honestly, doing this. Okay. Oh, geez. Like getting into Fort Knox. Okay. I didn't even cut it. There you go. All right, I think we should be good now. What is this one? Oh, she wrote me a little note. Oh, I know what this is. It says, Lindsay, I hope, oh, thank you for purchasing this book. I hope you love it. Happy reading, Diana. Thanks, Diana, if you're watching. Okay, so this actually is also the second book in a series I bought, and I did purchase the first one. It just didn't come in today with it, I guess. So we're going to go do this a little bit out of order, but that is okay. Okay, this is the Fairy Loot edition of Painted Devils. So this is the second book in Margaret Owen's Little Thieves series. So the first book is Little Thieves, which I did order, it just hasn't come in. And this is Painted Devils. And honestly, besides for the fact that I just want the whole series, I think that this is just a truly stunning book. Look at how beautiful this is. What's the back say? Once upon a time, there was a benevolent god called the Scarlet Maiden and a poor woodcutter's daughter called the Wicked Maid. After being visited by the god in a dream, the Wicked Maid instructed the villagers to retrieve the Scarlet Maiden's lost treasure. The villagers were blessed in reward, and the Wicked Maid was heralded a prophet, or that is what the Wicked Maid wants people to believe. Are the miracles just luck, or is an invented deity not so imaginary after all? Look at the sprayed edges. I don't know if it's coming on camera, but they're like bright orange. And there's two hands and like a tiny little lantern. How cute is that? And this book, the Naked book, is honestly one of the things that sold me. I don't know why I'm so into this stuff, but when you see a book that is this beautiful, I mean, it's like obligatory that you purchase it. Look at the Naked book. I mean, are you serious? Outside of the cover, this is what the book looks like. And as someone who religiously removes her covers to read, I was sold. Is it signed? Oh, it has a signed plate. So I could put that inside the book if I want to. It is just absolutely stunning. Look at this. Look at how cute. I can't wait to get Little Thieves because I can't wait to see them together. But that's it. Those were my special edition books. So how many did I get in today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them came in today. Super stoked on it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. So let's continue on reading.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in
Okay, so it is officially the next day. I just got back. That took infinitely longer than I thought it was going to, but it is now 5 o'clock and I have spent all day at the Apple Genius Bar getting my son's MacBook Air looked at because it was being funky. Long story short, I did not think that was going to be like an all-day venture, but it was. So I'm going to sit down now. I just threw around some like knock around clothes, and I am going to just decompress and chill because that was actually more stressful than I predicted it would be. The good news is tomorrow I actually have to bring my car in for servicing as well because my latch on my hatch is like not tripping, like it's not working. So they informed me this morning that they consider that a waiting repair, that it's not eligible for a loaner and they're not giving any Uber credits or anything like that, which is fine. So I'm actually gonna have to like sit in the waiting room and wait. So I think I should have like quite a while of reading time tomorrow, which is like, thank God. I'm actually like welcoming getting my car work done so that I could just sit and hang out for a little while without anything to do and like anybody to like need something. So I'm going to sit and like decompress for a little while. I did get like 75 pages into Fourth Wing. I'm liking it. I'm not going to give a full review till the end, but like my initial reaction, the only thing I'm going to say for right now is almost 100 pages in, 75 pages in. Everybody's kind of been comparing this to like, it's like the adult Harry Potter with dragons. First of all, I hate when people say that because like Harry Potter had dragons, people. Like all my Harry Potter fans, like you should all hear that and be like, what do you mean? Harry Potter had dragons. Like we didn't need someone to fix that. It was good. Like Norbert, the Norwegian Ridgeback, like they have it. But like that was not a problem that needed to be fixed. Like Harry Potter had the dragon thing on lock, so we're good. It is more like adult. Harry Potter is obviously YA, like teenagers, but the only thing I will say is that it's not, Fourth Wing isn't gripping me right from the beginning in the same way that Harry Potter did. Harry Potter from chapter 1, when Harry gets dropped as a baby on the Dursleys' doorstep, and right away, like, he starts getting these letters, and then the Dursleys go to that island, that abandoned island, and then Hagrid breaks the door down, and Dudley gets a tail, and like, then he goes to straight to Diagon Alley. Like, right away, Harry Potter gripped me. Like, I feel like that story from the jump, you're like, I get it. Fourth Wing is good. It's interesting. I'm not bored, but it's not like gripping me in the way that Harry Potter did. So, I mean, and I know that I shouldn't be going in. It's not a direct comparison. People are just saying that it's like a similar premise. It has Harry Potter vibes, except more adult and with dragons. But it's good. I'm liking it. It's definitely doing what I need it to do right now. But if you're a diehard Harry Potter fan like me and you're going into this thinking like, oh my God, this is like Harry Potter type hype, I haven't seen the direct comparison the way a lot of people have. So there you go. All right, I'm going to sit and start the timer again. I officially have, sorry, Miss Olivia Reads a Latte, I'm gonna have to knock you down, but I officially have 15 hours and 35 minutes left. So this has been a lot slower going, much like most of my challenges. This has been a lot slower going than I thought, but I do have 15 hours left. So I've almost done, 10 hours of reading. So that's not horrible. I'm definitely not watching the TV as much, which was this goal of this. So let's go and put like at least an hour's dent into this. So hopefully the next update I'm giving you, we're past 14:30 and hopefully way past that. That would be ideal, but I will let you know. All right, continuing on. Bye.
Hold on, baby, I don't dance, but how I love to be around you. I'm not scared to take a chance. Yeah, I'm so happy that I found you. And you know that I'm yours, alright. You can tell by the look in my eyes. Don't wanna play it cool, I gave it straight from the heart. Oh, how I love to be around you. We got something better than the others. We can fly higher than an eagle. Take me somewhere we can be together. Oh, how I love to be around you. Oh, how I love to be around you. You can show me how to move, 'cause I don't wanna be sitting alone. I don't care what road you choose. Don't wanna go back to who I was before. And I know that you might know right. I can tell by the look in your eyes.
Okay, so I actually realized that I haven't updated in a while and let you guys know where I'm at. So I'm actually sitting here editing, and I'm in front of my son's green screen. So, I actually have been reading quite a bit, but it's not been anything interesting. I've been like sitting down, reading for an hour, then turning or closing my book, getting some work done, doing stuff with the kids, sitting down, reading for an hour. And every time I do that, I, of course, turn the timer on. So I don't remember what the timer was at the last time we chatted. I feel like it was at like 11 hours or something. We are now at, I don't know if you can see this, 6 hours. So I did put in a couple of good shifts. And the most exciting part is we are almost completely done with Fourth Wing. I'm past the 450 page mark. There's only 500 pages in this book, and we just have that tiny, tiny, tiny little sliver of the book left. So I should be able to finish this today. I'm not going to give you my full thoughts at the end, but spoiler alert, I'm absolutely loving it. It's really, really good. So I'm going to finish this today. I'm really excited about it. And then we will have to decide what I move on with, because with 6 hours left on the clock, I should be able to get at least one more book done. Here's the thing about Fourth Wing I've been thinking about though. Am I crazy? Because the font doesn't seem like particularly small to me, but for some reason I feel as though this book is going slower. I think I started this book in like the 17-hour mark, and I'm at 6. 11 hours on one book is not typical for me. I just feel like I'm eating it up, and maybe that's why. Like maybe I'm just taking my time because I'm loving it so much and I don't want to rush it. So maybe I'm really just like soaking in the world and the dialogue and the characters and the story. Or is the font small and each page is taking longer to get through? I can't figure it out, because I don't think the font is that small. So I'm not sure why, but for some reason that I've yet to determine, this book is taking me a longer time than most other books, and I'm not complaining. Like, I'm okay. I want to stay in this world, so I'm not rushing. I'm savoring it. I'm soaking it in. But this has taken like 11 hours for 500 pages, which seems a bit excessive. So with 6 hours left on the clock, reading at my normal speed, I should be able to finish at least like 1, potentially 2 books. So I will update you when I finish Fourth Wing and tell you what we're moving on to next. Bye.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I
Okay, update with 5 hours, and I forget what the actual time was. I wrote it down and I didn't bring my phone down here, but a little over 5 hours left. I officially finished Fourth Wing. And in my last update, I talked about how I felt like I was taking a while to get through this book. Also, if you see that the bed isn't made, no, you don't. Just ignore it. It's fine. My kids were down here watching TV, but, so like I said before, it felt like it was taking me a while to get through this book. Like, I'm not a super, super fast speed reader by any means, but I'm certainly not a slow reader. And typically I can finish like a 500 page book in like 4.5 hours, 5.5 hours, maybe 6 hours, but this took me over 11 hours. And like I said in the last update, part of me was just like savoring the experience, really loving it, just so not wanting to rush this, because although I'm not going to give my full thoughts until the end, like it should be fairly obvious that I loved it. So not rushing myself and taking it easy. However, it did just feel like it was taking me a while to just like get through the pages. And look, I mean, this is my regular edition copy. This is the one I actually read. I don't feel like the words are like that small, but there's something up because look at this. This is my first edition copy. This is the one that I had pre-ordered and got with the sprayed edges. I think it actually, like the cover is just slightly gilded differently. So I didn't read this one. This is just like my collector's one that goes up off all my collectors on the shelves. But if you look at it, I don't know if it's going to be as obvious. Let me just put them together. Look, hold them up. The regular edition is thicker than the first edition. And then when I look at it, this edition was exactly 498 pages. And this first edition is 400, I guess it is the same. 498 pages, but like, why does it look so different? I guess maybe the pages are just thicker? It must be thicker paper. I don't know why. I really don't. But for some reason it felt like I was going, like my pages per minute were slower. Like the fact that this took me 11 hours is still kind of blowing my mind, but I loved it. So it must have just been, I was just taking it in and really just taking my time. So I do have just under 5 hours left, and I've already picked my book that I'm going to go into next. I actually just got back from my son's baseball game, and I had finished Fourth Wing before we left. So I was like, well, what am I going to take with me? He has to be at a game like 45 minutes to an hour before the game actually starts for warm up. So I find myself sitting there for 45 minutes, and it's great, like prime reading time out in the field. So I was like, what am I going to go into next? Why wouldn't my battery die mid-sentence? It's fine. I grabbed another battery pack. We're fine. But like I was saying, I think just because I loved Fourth Wing so much, like I don't feel ready to leave the genre yet. So I did start reading my next book because typically sometimes like when I get out of a book, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a genre switch. I wasn't feeling that. However, I did do a little bit of a shift. So I looked at all my fantasies, and I like so many of them on my shelf were like hitting the itch. Like I really wanted to go into them, but for some reason, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir has just been literally calling my name. The last couple of books I've picked up, this has been the second contender, and I'm like, I really just want to get to this book. So I believe this is more on the sci-fi realm. I mean, obviously like sci-fi has elements of fantasy in it, but I believe this is more like outer space sci-fi, robot sci-fi than like fairies, mermaids, fantasy. And the only thing I really know about this book is that I believe the main character is like an astronaut who just randomly wakes up on a spaceship with no memory of who he is and no memory of how he's been kept alive. And from what I understand, there's like the spaceship is keeping him alive. So I don't know if the spaceship is like a robot. I'm not sure. But I'm super excited to get into it. And I did during the, 15, 20 minutes that I had when my son was actually warming up and didn't need me, I got to page 23. So I grabbed my phone, and I do have 4 hours and 42 minutes left on the clock. I definitely think that I could complete this in 4 hours and 42 minutes. So we are going to go cook dinner, get the kids all settled in for the night, and then I think tonight we might have like a chill reading night because I've been running like a chicken with my head cut off today, and I could feel sitting in my chair reading my book for the rest of the night, maybe with a coffee. I think that I might be feeling another coffee. Do I need another coffee? I mean, I feel like there's never a time when a coffee wouldn't make me happy. So I think I need another coffee. So I am feeling my chair, my book, my coffee, maybe my Harry Potter blanket tonight, and we will be good to go. So I'll update you with the progress I make. Bye, guys. Okay. Hey guys, it is actually 2 days later, and full disclosure, my neighbor's lawn service is here cutting his lawn, so sorry if it's a little loud and you can hear that in the background, but it is now 2 days later. We ended up having the opportunity to do a little like mini vacation, like staycation at the casino here in Connecticut. went to Mohegan overnight, so I didn't get any reading done. I actually did not even bring my book because I went with my kids. And is my lens really dirty? Hold, please. I feel like it is. Is this like an ASMR moment? Like, oh. Okay, sorry. So we ended up going to Mohegan Sun here in Connecticut for a few days with the kids. I didn't even bring my book. And I'm not blaming my kids, but I'm blaming my kids. Because at one point during our stay, they were like, Mommy, can we use your phone? And I gave them my phone, and somehow my timer got reset. So you are going to just have to take my word for it that I had 3.5 hours left on the clock. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it, but I had 3.5 hours left. I'm on chapter 6 of Project Hail Mary. I'm on page 100. Oh, page 100 exactly. That was convenient. So I am on page 100. So far I have kind of mixed feelings, which is weird because like I've seen so many other booktubers love this book, and I was really expecting to love it because the concept is so interesting and unique, and I liked the fundamental concept. But I think up to page 100 at least, it's just a little bit too scientific-y. It's too scientific-y. Up until this point, it's just a little bit too scientific. Now, I will say this. They do have a couple paragraphs of very complicated science, mumbo-jumbo jargon, but then they do have a couple of sentences at the end of all that where they sum it up, and at least for me, I do feel like I end up understanding the general point of what they were saying. But you just read a couple of paragraphs of kind of like science stuff. It's not that it goes over my head. I understand it, but it's like when I'm reading for enjoyment. I'm not really reading to feel like I'm in the middle of like an astrophysics lecture it's like university level stuff. So it's not that I'm not liking it. The writing is decent, but I really feel like you have to love science to have an enjoyment in reading how in depth they're going. But it's not confusing because like I said, he then finishes this very complicated couple of paragraphs with a synopsis where you're like, oh, well, that makes more sense. And it kind of just does have, I'm kind of just like, why didn't you just say that? So I'm liking it. I'm not loving it so far. The story is interesting. So I'm going to keep going. I really want to finish. I feel like I've been on under 4.5 hours for days because I have been under 4.5 hours for days, but hoping I can finish this tonight and tomorrow morning. I do have a couple of solid hours of reading I can get done, so. This is falling apart, guys. It's turned into an absolute mess, but. Let's get this done. Like George Washington. Okay, look what we're about to do. There you go. We are officially done. 24 hours. Turn that off. And we are officially done. Yay! Celebration. So let's go over what this challenge looked like and talk about exactly what we finished. So, the first book that we read was Ricochet. This is the second book in the Addicted Callaway series, and honestly, I don't want to be like controversial right now, but I gave this book 2.5 stars. Listen, 2.5 is bad, but it's not that bad. Like 2.5 on a 0 to 5 scale is perfectly average. Like, and that's exactly how I felt about this book. It was just perfectly average. I I don't want to, I know there's a lot of people that haven't read this series yet, so I don't want to get too far into it with the spoilers, but I'm going to go ahead and put a screen time up on the screen right now for you to skip to if you either haven't read Addicted Calloway or if you are just not interested in hearing. I'm not going to go full spoiler. I'm not going to give away plot points, but I just feel like I can't really accurately describe my rating if I don't give some details as to why, because 2.5 isn't that great. So go ahead and just skip to this timestamp right now if you don't want to hear it. Like I said, it's not going to be full spoiler, but I just need to talk about some things that irritated me in this book. So here we go. Okay, so the problem that I'm having with this book, the primary problem is that literally the only character I find even remotely likable in these books is Lo. Like, I feel like I actually like Lo. I'm attached to his character. I feel like he's a good person. I want to know more about him. He helps his friends. He rides hard for his friends. He's always there for them. But that's it. Like, that's where it stops. There is not a single other character in this series so far that I like. Like, let's just really quick fire. Lily? She's whiny. She's selfish. I don't understand it. She's a damsel in distress. She can never get out of her own way. And the number one thing that irritates me about her is that when Lo talks about Lily, or when Lo does things for Lily, it's genuinely selfless because he loves her. I never get that feeling from Lily. Lo loves Lily. Lily relies on Lo. Like, Lily needs Lo. She doesn't, I mean, I think she loves him in a way that, like, you love people in your life, but not for the right reasons. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm describing it right, but it's just like, Lo loves her. Lily relies on him. Lily needs him. And it just really irritates me. And then when you talk about all the other surrounding characters, let's just really quickly, like, rapid fire this. Lily's sister Daisy is 16 years old. Reich is 22. And the conversations and the interactions that they have is just, like, beyond inappropriate. Like, 100% made my skin crawl, skeeved me out, cringed me out. And sometimes they were even having these, like, he was a grown man having these inappropriate conversations with a 16-year-old minor right in front of her, Lily. And she's not like, why are you talking to my sister that way? Like, I don't know. Reich and Daisy's relationship is cringing me out. I don't get it. I'm not understanding it. And then we get to Rose and Connor, which I've seen so many people say that Rose and Connor are like their favorite couple in this series. Rose is horrible to Connor. Rose treats him like absolute garbage. She just doesn't seem like a very nice person. And Connor is just this, like, Weasley, spineless, like, he's just like this little puppy that chases Rose around and just desperate. That's a good word for him. He's desperate. Like, he just desperately wants Rose to approve of him. Like, he desperately wants Rose to love him. And I just don't find that attractive. I don't like that. I feel like she's really mean to him. I didn't enjoy their relationship. So I'm sitting here being like, the only character that I like in this series is Lo. That's it. And I kind of found this book kind of pointless. Like, I don't think it really added anything to the story. The relationships are all cringy in different ways. I'm not connecting to the characters. So it was a 2.5 star. There were parts that were all right. The dialogue was decent sometimes when it wasn't Reich and Daisy, because that's just creepy. But yeah, it was perfectly average. It was fine. I am going to continue on with the series, but it's weird because so many people like this one. So that's making me a little nervous because I'm like, if this is it, like, if this is the pinnacle of the series, like, I'm struggling with this. Like, I don't know what it is. And I would love to hear below if you guys have read this, if you felt the same way, because I'm feeling nuts right now. Everyone loves this. And if you've continued on with the series, is there some sort of redemption arc? Does it get better? Because I don't know. I just feel like everyone loves this book, and I read it, and legitimately the whole way through I was like, what do you love? Like, I don't know. I would just love to hear people's explanations on the characters because I didn't connect with them. It's fine. Okay. So, rant over. After that, I went and I picked up The Risk, which is the first in the Mind F series, which I gave, let me pull up my Goodreads so I can see, because I can't off the top of my head remember exactly what I gave it. Okay, so on my Goodreads, I gave it a 4, but it was a 3.5 stars. So it was a 3.5 rounded up on Goodreads. It was really, really, really cute. I read it on my Kindle, so I'll go ahead and flash a little photo up here. It was really, I mean, not cute. It wasn't cute. I don't know why I said that. It's not cute. It's really good. So basically, the things that I liked about it, I already gave a synopsis during the reading section, so I'm not going to do it again, but it was a really quick read. It was short. Now it's short if you're reading each story individually like I am. If you actually buy the full book, I think it has all 5 of the books together, so I think it is like almost 700 pages, but I'm not reading it that way. I'm just going to read them like one book at a time, so I believe this was like 132 pages, so it was a quick short read. I'm going back on my Goodreads and seeing what I said. Yeah, I said that the romance was interesting. It had decent spice. But then for my cons, I did say that this was one of the thriller types that gets a bit unbelievable and over the top. So one thing you're going to find about me is I just fundamentally struggle with a lot of mystery thrillers because I feel as though they're unbelievable. Like, they're over the top, they're unbelievable. That's not the way this would go in real life. And although I do appreciate a certain level of like escapism where like you're reading not to be thinking about real life, it does get to the point where like for me it gets distracting sometimes, where I'm like, I kind of roll my eyes and I'm like, this would not happen this way. And there was a little bit of that in this book. It was once again another thriller that I was kind of like, a dark romance thriller that I was kind of like, okay, we're getting a little over the top, like we're getting a little outlandish here, but it was over the top at parts. Yeah, so I said in my Goodreads, the way I describe it is it gives like the she can do anything and she will never be caught vibe. Like never. To the point where sometimes you're like, come on, this is like open shut. Like she would be caught in under a day if this was real life. So like she could do absolutely anything. And actually, side story, but maybe if people relate to me on this is actually the problem. I loved the first couple of seasons of Breaking Bad, but this was actually the problem I got into with this series, that it ends up getting like very repetitive. Like he could do anything and he's just never caught ever. So then when he starts like coming into conflict with characters, you're like, who really cares? Because he's going to get away with it anyways. Like nothing's going to happen to him. So that's kind of how I get in a lot of these mysteries, like in these dark romance thriller books. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like she's never going to be caught. Like she could do anything and nothing's going to happen. So it gets a little repetitive for me. And then I said some of the dialogue was a little bit cringy, but overall it was a good read and I'm going to be continuing the series. So I gave this one a 3.5 stars. I did like it better than Ricochet. I am going to continue. It was quick. It was easy. And the storyline was really unique. I've never read another book like it. So that was The Risk. Then I jumped into Fourth Wing. This is a 6-star book for me. 6-star. I obviously gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, but this is a 6-star read. This is one of my top books of the year, if not my top book of the year that I've read. This book is everything. Everything. So I was kind of I went on a little rant during my reading that I said, like, I don't understand why people say this is like adult Harry Potter with dragons. I still don't love that description because Harry Potter had dragons, guys. But this really was. Like, it was like if you took Harry Potter and made it adult and high stakes. That's what it is. And as the Harry Potter series went on, it did get more and more high stakes. So, like that. But I'm just saying this is high stakes adult. Throw in a little bit more of an adult romance. And then I do think that there was more lore and like there was a bigger dragon storyline in this. Like the dragons pop up here and there in Harry Potter, but this was like dragon forward, dragon heavy. I really like each of the dragons have a separate personality that you learn about. Each of the dragons' relationships with their riders is separate. This book is written so well. The dialogue is so great. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I can predict that it's going to be one of my top books, if not my top book of the year, because it is so good. I am so, so, so excited for Iron Flame to come out. I believe it's November 7th that it comes out. I've had it pre-ordered. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Everything else will drop when Iron Flame comes out. Like, I will pick that book up immediately. I will read it, and that's it. Iron Flame time. So please go read this. It deserves all the hype. Okay? So last but not least, I picked up Project Hail Mary, and I didn't finish it, which we're going to go into in a second. It's kind of strange because I had 5 hours to finish this book left in the challenge, and I really honestly would have thought that I would have at least gotten really, really close, if not finished it and started another book. But as it stands, I am currently 276 pages into this book. So yeah, like I said, I have this tiny little chunk left in the book, and my feelings on this book are so mixed so far. Like, obviously I know I have the end part coming up. A lot of loose ends might be tied up at the end. A lot of things might be explained at the end. Maybe we'll get this part of the storyline that makes me completely change my mind, but I just want to give you like my thoughts up to this point. And I'm hoping to finish this either tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't think I'm going to read 200 pages tonight, but maybe even tomorrow. We're going to the beach, so I know I'm going to have a lot of time to sit on the beach and read. But here's my general thoughts on this book. I think I like it, but I can't decide because I really like the main character, Ryland Grace. I like him. I think the storyline is really unique. If you don't know, this book is about Ryland Grace, who basically wakes up. The story starts with him waking up with tubes all in his body. He realizes that he's been in a coma, and he does not remember anything about how he got there, who he is, where he is, what he's doing. And it's basically about him figuring out that he is on a ship in outer space. So basically, you're going along with him trying to figure out exactly what...
Get out of my way. Subscribe!
Oh, that's cute. Thanks for that. Bye. It's the interruption of the video. We have one in every single video where they've just got to interrupt. So basically, I don't even remember where my train of thought was. Thank you, Cole. So basically, you're going along. We're just going to move on. You're going along with Ryland while he's trying to figure out who he is, what he's doing in outer space, how did he survive this long, how long has he been in outer space, what his mission is supposed to be. And I do feel as though it's a very unique plot line. It is my first like dedicated science fiction, so a little bit of my hesitation might be that I'm just not super experienced in the genre. However, one major thing that's making this book go like a lot slower than I would have predicted is that there is so much of this that is just sciencey, science, technological, astrophysics. Like, it ends up feeling like an astrophysics lecture sometimes. They do a relatively good job of like summarizing it, but that doesn't change the fact that you go on for pages and pages of like an astrophysics lecture where I literally feel like I'm sitting in a classroom somewhere. I mean, literal like calculations of like literal scientific calculations, and it does kind of get like, what am I reading? Like this, I don't know if I really signed up for that, but like then I'm so conflicted because I like the story and I like the main character and I love the character Rocky in this book that we've been introduced to. So I'm so conflicted on this book, and it's making me super excited to continue and finish because I'm not sure I love it, but it's totally not in like a DNF kind of way. I want to finish and I want to know what happens. But where is it going? How is it going to wrap up? Are we going to continue to have these like lengthy scientific... I don't even know. I'm excited to see. I'm 276 pages in. So all in all, I completed 3.5, little over 3.5 books in this 24-hour period for a total of 1,173 pages read. I don't think that's that bad. I think that's pretty good. So I think overall this was a success. Obviously I didn't do it in one 24-hour period. That's just not for me right now with my life and everything I have going on with it and my kids and all that stuff. So that's just not for me. It did take me about 4 or 5 days to do, but that's okay. I still read 3.5 books this week, which is amazing. And I did find my one of my favorite books of the year so far. So this challenge to me was a total success. So that is all. We're going to end it here, but go do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, comment below and tell me if you have read Fourth Wing, if you liked it, and leave a dragon emoji, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.